This is Norio Hayakawa, and this is part two of the interview with researcher Juergen Hess, who is visiting Albuquerque this weekend, because there is a Tesla Tech conference going on right here in the city of Albuquerque, and I'm so glad that Juergen stopped by so we could, or I could ask him some questions. Thank you, Juergen, for being here.
Absolutely.
And sharing some things like you did in part one. And there are so many questions, people like to ask you. And I just don't randomly select a person for interview unless I believe that there's something that that person can offer in a real sense. And so anyway, I know that you have just presented the dissertation about metaphysical approach to this whole phenomenon. But anyway, I just noticed that you have this interesting pin right here, and can you tell us what that signifies and what's your opinion or thoughts? Yes.
It is a symbol of my fraternity. Actually, with the same week that I was awarded my PhD, I was also initiated as a Freemason.
I see. Very interesting.
And, there are a lot of rumors and speculation about Freemasonry. Almost all of them are incorrect. We're not a secret society. We're a society that has some secrets, but we don't hide our membership or our virtues. And it was an important step for me personally to be accepted by this group, because I have no desire to be a figure publicly about this subject. I had a desire to try and gather evidence for my own personal understanding, and I want to be able to share what I've gained. But what's important to me are the virtues I have as a human, and truth and morality and these type of things. One thing I found difficult were to find other people that shared those personality traits or that type of goal. And that is really what Freemasonry is. I mean, at least to me, Freemasonry, we accept good people and give them the opportunities to become better people. And there's a bit of honor there, because it's such an ancient group, and those traits, if they're genuine, if they are really the things we're supposed to learn, they'll never change. They'll always be resolute. And for hundreds and hundreds of years, this group has existed based on these, moralities and things like that. And so it was important for me to find a group of people that were like-minded in the same sense that we had the same motivation in life, which is to live with integrity and no envy, hate, or greed. And to know that they've made that determination by listening to the things I've said and the things I was doing, and to determine that, I wasn't a liar, I didn't have ill intentions or a hidden agenda. And it's also very kind of cool to know that I've gone through the same rituals that George Washington went through. It's very neat. Or to know that one of my fraternity brothers was the first man on the moon. There's some kind of, it makes it fun. And, so I'm a member of the Central Arizona Lodge 14 in Cottonwood. And it really is a brotherhood. It really is the first time that I've felt connected to people that I'll always be able to trust, that will never hurt me or try to do anything wrong. And one of the most impactful things was, after I became a member, they said, you're no longer alone or a stranger in the world. And that was something that struck me, because I've always kind of felt alone in the world, especially after John Lear died. I didn't have someone to call and talk about things with, and they said, well, yeah, anywhere you go in the world, the Brotherhood's already there. You call ahead and there'll be friends there for you to show you around and do things. And so to gain that network of people I can trust worldwide was one of the most important things I think I've ever done. And the funny thing is, that same week, like I said, I was awarded my PhD and became a Mason. It felt like I accomplished two big things. However, both of those things, it's just the beginning. Even though they felt like accomplishments, it's like, no, now it's just starting. Now I have this whole new pathway to go down, and I like having stuff to do and to be a part of my community, to do charity work. The
Yes.
Shriners Hospitals, that's Freemasons. We help a lot of people, and hopefully that we can get rid of some of the negative stigma that the internet creates about the group, because I do kind of feel like we're a dying breed. There aren't many more people coming into the fraternity, and it's one of the few moments in my life that I really felt kind of honored.
That is amazing, and I'm one of those who have always had a strange view of the Freemasons, but I believe that they are a group that is definitely interested in this whole strange, mysterious universe, and just by the word that is used, I think in the lodges, it's like the great architect of the universe.
That's what the G stands for.
G stands
the G
for
in the center.
The
Yes.
great architect of the universe. So
Correct.
this group definitely is one of many groups that are very interested, not only interested, but they are quite familiar with the mysteries of the universe.
Yes.
And naturally, I think those who are into ufology can also, be related in the studying together about this mysterious universe, and
Right.
so that is tremendous.
It all goes. Yeah, I found it all starting to tie together. Correct. Yeah, and it happened when I started looking at UFOs as something metaphysical, something bigger than the craft itself. If there are all these craft flying around, okay, who's on them and why are they on them? You start to expand and look past the taxi cab as to the purpose of them, and it really starts to shape a meaning of life at the end of it. Yeah.
That is tremendous, and you mentioned the late John Lear many times in these interviews, but personally, of course, I met John Lear many times in conferences in Los Angeles and talked with him, and I believe that he's one of the most knowledgeable persons on earth about the Nevada test site. He knows more about the details of the entire Nevada test site than anybody else that I ever spoken to.
Yeah, and he really was the person that got me motivated enough to stop reading things on the internet and put boots on the ground in the field and just go see, because he did that, you did that, and now looking back, that's why you guys are so well respected, because you went into the field. You didn't just sit at your desk and come up with wild theories. You wanted to know the truth. You didn't want to sell a concept you came up with. And that's what happens a lot. People say, UFOs are this, and then they go out, and if they find evidence that doesn't support their concept, they brush it aside, instead of just collecting all the evidence, and the evidence itself will tell the truth, right?
That is tremendous, and you know, it was just a great pleasure of mine to, you know, finally meet you, Juergen.
The pleasure's mine,
in
trust me.
Albuquerque, New Mexico. May God bless you, and may you continue your very important research.
Thank you very much.
This is Norio Hayakawa in Albuquerque, New Mexico.